Hello. So, um, this time I was going to talk about music and what life has been like for me as a transgender woman coming out, being a performer, and that kind of stuff. So, like I said before, I came out in the beginning of 2019 as a transgender woman and made changes pretty quickly to live my authentic life, I guess. Um, I have always been into music, and when I say music, I mean like playing guitar and singing, and my own solo stuff, as well as fronting rock bands over the years. I've been in a number of rock bands, um, presenting male, and at the time I came out, I was with a really good rock band. We were doing gigs across the UK. We were getting a bit of a good name for ourselves. We'd recorded and two EPs, one of which didn't get released. We did a few music videos. Like everything's out there. It's really cool, and I had a really good time with them. Towards the end, though, it started getting a bit weird, a bit bitter. And then by the November of 2019, I was cut out of the band, which sucked a lot because I felt like, what I'd feared at the beginning about losing friends and family and jobs and all these different things when you come out was actually happening properly then. So, it got a bit dark and a bit uncomfortable for a long time. I spent 2020 then working on a solo album which I released, self-released, self-recorded and produced and everything. So you can go and check that out. Search for Zoe, Zoey, and then When Tomorrow Comes, which is the first track off my first album. I released my second album at the end of last year. That album was called Those Who Pull the Strings. It's all on Spotify and everywhere, so please go check it out. That's really cool of you. And then I got to the point, end of 2020, and I was like, you know what? I miss being in a band. It's part of who I am. It's part of, I love the camaraderie of a band and the performance elements that are all tied into it as well. And I started looking on all the usual sites where I've built bands before. And unfortunately, I'm an okay singer, I think. People say better things about me, which is good. But I'm very self-critical, which is fine. And so I've tried, first of all, being like, hey, I'm a trans singer with a generic, not generic, well, a typical kind of male sounding rock voice, looking for this band, blah, 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 blah. And I wouldn't get any interest. And I was like, right, okay, I'm Zoe, I'm looking for this band. And then I get some messages and we'd exchange a few links and tracks here and there. And it would be like, oh yeah, no, that's not for me, that's not for me. And no, although there was never anything specifically transphobic said, I felt like as soon as they realised I was a trans woman, things got weird, which sucked a lot. It's a shame because like my music is all out rock. There's the sort of stuff that I love to do, the stuff that I love to write for bands, and it's typically in a kind of male dominated scene, especially with my sound. So finding like a straight male scene, a typical straight scene. And there's no problem with that in a way, but I also think that it shouldn't be met with prejudice. Like all the fans over the years with my previous band, like were so embracing of me coming out, and I felt so empowered by them. Every time I perform, I'd really connect with some people, and they would be so supportive. It was amazing. Yet, the different musicians that I was finding along the way were not like that, and that surprised me a lot. And so I tried a different route then. I put a couple of posts out in some LGBTQ groups, and I came across two people, Francis and Roma. We were chatting for a little while, um, and things were good. Things were taking a while to find the right pieces that I wanted for the band. I wanted two guitarists, I wanted a bassist and a drummer, and then I would focus on singing. Um, my idea originally wasn't to write entirely, but that is kind of where we're at now. And then I found Tim, who is a straight guy, um, and literally I was wary because I was like, well, this is who I am. This is what the band is like. Yes, it's kind of predominantly straight, generic, almost rock, but um, we're trans fronted. And he's like, it's fine, whatever. Like the music, it's all about the music and the people. And if we get on and we make good music together, then it doesn't matter. And that kind of resonated. I was like, okay, that's what we want. We want. I don't want to exclude straight people from the band. We are like predominantly a queer band, but I think it's important that if I'm feeling excluded because I'm trans, I don't want to be someone who excludes straight people from being in a band that I'm in. But it doesn't work like that. People are people. If we get on, if you're nice to me, I'll be nice to you, and that's all that matters to me. Respect, But yeah, we met, we had a chat and about different things, and we started sharing some links. And again, it seemed really good, and yeah, it all worked out really, really well. We've recently got a new drummer, and yeah, he so happens to be bi. He's in a straight presenting relationship, but that is what it is. The world sees things very black and white sometimes, which can suck again. But it doesn't invalidate someone's queer or sexual identity at all. So yeah, the band that I'm in now is called Fenix, Fenix. We released our first EP last year called Smoke and Mirrors. That's out on all streaming platforms. We have a bunch of songs, like a ridiculous amount of songs for where we are in our journey. But I write when I'm inspired. I write, and I've written loads, and it just keeps coming. It keeps coming, and it's sounding really good. So we're really excited. We have a few gigs lined up for this year, which is really exciting, and plans to record again and do some more music videos and stuff. That was a really nice experience, doing our first music video as the new / real true me, I guess. So you can check that out on YouTube. That's Fenix, Smoke and Mirrors. That was cool. And yeah, I'm hoping that as we move forward, the crowds and the fans will be as embracing as they were before. And we've opened the doors to not only a typically straight rock scene, but also to queer people who love that kind of music and want to see representation. For me, when I came out, there wasn't any real trans femme rock representation for me that I could resonate with and could connect with, because again, it's a typically straight scene, a straight male scene as well, and I'm a firm believer of, if you can't see the change, be the change. So yes, I want to be out there and be getting famous and becoming the rock star. For me, for my love of the music and my love of performance and stuff like that. But if I can get out there and I can inspire one person to not think that this genre, this industry is going to shut you down because you're trans or you're queer or whatever, and then give them the strength to go, you know what, I'm going to do it. I'm not going to just do the typical queer sound of music. Like, that's what I want. That's what I want. I'm stuttering a little bit because I'm like so passionate about this stuff, but yeah. And breathe. So yeah, I think music is so important to me. Performing, writing, listening to, just like having that creative process. So I will continue to rock out, not with my out, because I no longer have that. And yeah, if you can support my music and other queer artists as well, then I would truly appreciate that, because I'm going to be rocking for a long, long time. I can tell you that for sure. And if you're local to South Wales, then why not come and check us out at a gig? Because we'd love to have you there. You can follow us on socials as well, at Fenix Rock Band, FenixRockBand. Please do. Please come and check us out. Please support trans-fronted rock, like all-out rock, anthemic rock. We want to be filling stadiums one day. So down to you. Down to you. Come and make us fill stadiums. All right? That's yeah.